For the past 3 weeks, we've seen so many people in the access media desperately try to spin Snow White into some kind of success story, or to make Rachel Zegler look like the victim in this entire disaster. Even though we saw the opening weekend, we saw the massive drop-off, and it was obvious from the beginning that this movie was going to lose money for Disney. We just weren't quite sure how many hundreds of millions of dollars that it would lose. Even just a few days ago, you have headlines like this from Screen Rant. Snow White is now Rachel Zegler's second highest grossing movie despite the controversy, and she deserves so much more. Well, people weren't falling for this. They didn't fall for it when so many Access media members went out with those first reactions to say how spectacular the movie was. They didn't trust them. And then the people that did actually see it despised the movie. One of the lowest scores we've seen for a movie in history over on IMDb. And now in its third weekend at the box office, it has now become undeniable, even to the most ridiculous shills, that this thing is going to be a massive loss for Disney. Because when we look, you can see families were more than willing to go to the box office to support something like the Minecraft movie, while Rachel Zegler's Snow White continues to plunge. Take a look at this with the updated numbers we now have. Minecraft made $163 million just in the United States in its 3-day opening weekend. Compare that to something like Snow White, which now sits fourth at the box office, behind A Working Man, behind Minecraft, and even behind The Chosen. Jesus beat Rachel Zegler at the box office, despite having 1,500 fewer theaters. You can see the per theater count right there. The Chosen dominated Rachel Zegler's Snow White. Another 58% drop this weekend. And now, as we look ahead to where this thing will finish its run, it's starting to look very, very bleak for Snow White. Snow White finally crosses the 150 million mark at the global box office after grossing $9 million on third weekend overseas. A harsh 58% drop, allied to its $77.5 million cue in the US. The film starring Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot hits $168 million globally. Again, essentially what Minecraft made just in the United States on its opening weekend after 3 weeks at the box office. With legs even worse than already expected, downgrading projection now eyeing $195 to $210 million global run. It will struggle to hit $200 million, which firmly puts a movie like Snow White in another category, another Disney failure, which is the Marvels. I have to admit, I knew it was going to bomb. I knew it was going to lose a shit ton of money for Disney. The idea of it matching the Marvels run, I couldn't have fathomed that. I thought that more families, despite all the controversy, would at least go out and give it a chance maybe at some point. Not the case. This movie is going to end up somewhere in the Marvels territory, $200 million. And with what we know of this budget, right, the fact that at least $300 million for production, likely more than that when it's all said and done, at least $100 to $150 million for marketing, when you consider the fact that the studio, Disney, only gets about half of those box office proceeds, so they're going to rake in about $100 million worth of revenue. Unfortunately, they've spent well over $400 million for production and marketing. That's conservative. It's likely more in the realm of 450 to 500. So at a minimum, we're talking about an over $300 million loss for Disney, likely a lot more. There is nothing you can do to cover up this bullshit. And it doesn't matter how many Collider articles they write claiming, oh, it's just the review bombing. That's what happened to this movie. And Rachel Zegler deserves so much more. It's her second highest grossing movie. There is no spin you can put on this nightmare to make it look good. It just got fucking obliterated by a different family movie in Minecraft, where people were more than willing to go to the box office, spend their money, buy the popcorn tins, do all of this stuff. And it ends in complete and total disaster for Rachel Zegler in Snow White. It's almost like, despite whatever political affiliations Jack Black or Jason Momoa might have, they weren't attaching them to this movie while they were promoted. It's weird how that works, isn't it? And I've said it again, I think Minecraft was a bad, even for a kid's movie, I think Minecraft was a bad movie overall, but the core audience, the kids, 25 and under, 22 and under, they loved it. They absolutely loved this movie, and that played at the box office. Not so much for Rachel Zegler's Snow White. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.